Okay, and welcome back everybody. You're watching the Premier League Season 3. My name is Triumph Man and I will be casting Pulse versus Dignitas. Now we have had a bit of a misstart. Here we go, finally rolling this time round. I'll just let everybody know the game is working this time round. And so anyway, let's kick off these bans here. Pulse banning out that Dirge, of course. Dirge, ever annoying to play against. Really, really powerful. Does taper off in the late game, but of course can force some really early, really devastating team fights if you want to just push like a madman. Now, Pulse, they do tend to ban out this hero quite a bit. They don't pick him that much. When we do see him picked every now and then, of course, Wagamama does cause a lot of havoc. That said, Wagamama and Mini are not present tonight for Pulse, and this is somewhat disappointing, because basically Mini is usually the drafter for Pulse, so Fishbone will be taking over tonight. In fact, their manager is in fact standing in. That's Bonsage down the bottom there, and they have Jude and One also standing in. Have a Dignitas out and forced, as we also have all 5 of them here present. Bounty Hunter being banned out. Of course, Bounty Hunter crazy powerful in this current metagame. A lot of teams starting to fear him. And I've got to give a shout out to Admiral Bulldog playing that Lothar's Bounty Hunter. I love it. Now, Magnus being banned, and as we're supposed to be calling him tonight, the Rhino Puncher. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. But he will be banned out, and of course, he has been incredible. Not only does he have crazy good buffs, but of course he's pretty much an all-in-one package. About the only thing he doesn't have is a strong laning phase, to be honest, and of course he's a melee hero, but that's about what you're going to get with the package. Of course he can CS a bit at range, but at the same time he can't really control and decimate a lane in the same way that Batrider, or in some respects a Templar Assassin can. Speaking of Templar Assassins, he has leaked through the banning stage. Of course, we've seen Magnus become quite prominent in this banning stage. Sven also on the board if a team wants to pick that up. We'll see if they're going to go for it. But yes, Magnus, he's got a superior magic stun. It's AoE. It's got a big cooldown, but it's got displacement on top of it. Sets everybody up like a Darkseer. He's got the skewer to close the gap. He's really just a full-on package. And he's got a crazy buff you can throw on a carry to give him huge amounts of damage. Anyway, though, I digress. Darkseer, though, the first pick for Pulse. And we'll see where they stick him. Likely, though, to wind up in that suicide lane. Is Darkseer's go-to position. But, of course, again, very flexible. We've seen him played everywhere from the jungle to solo mid. But Wisp going to be snapped up by Dignitas. They're also going to grab themselves a Templar Assassin. We'll probably see Snaking in the mid with Templar Assassin. The question is, who will they get to go with the Wisp? Now, Pulse may decide to pick up something else here. I mean, Pulse could even snag the Sven for themselves if they want. But that's their Dignitas, of course, if they still wanted to. Even though Chaos Knight has become somewhat lackluster versus Sven, he's still a very strong hero, and I don't think there's any reason why teams can't still use the Wisp Chaos Knight combo, because it is quite potent regardless of the way that Sven's been shining lately. And of course, they do have the negative armor. That's one of the most annoying things about Sven, is the fact he has a huge armor buff for his entire team when they go into a battle. And you stacked it with a mech, rings, stuff like that, a few armor auras, and suddenly your team has got upwards of 20 armor on every single person, plus their creep. It makes them incredibly resilient. But on that regards, having negative armor Templar Assassin, they don't have to bounty out of it. They could throw in a medallion or the likes just to help cut through that armor. Of course, it has been a fairly common thing. When DK used to be a common fixture in the scene, in fact, if you see some of the Southeast Asian teams, a common thing they will do against Dragon Knight is actually set up some negative armor lineups, or even just grab a quick medallion just to help chop through his health. However, Rubik going to be secured by Pulse. I'm starting to get one of the supports out of the way. Of course, Rubik does play solo mid on the odd occasion, but I doubt he'd do that against Templar Assassin. He would get manhandled pretty badly, so I assume it's going to be a support. Queen of Pain being picked up. Now, Templar Assassin is relatively good against Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain can get some good harass in there with the Shadow Strike for a couple of levels, but once Templar Assassin hits level 3 or so, it starts becoming fairly difficult for Queen of Pain to deal with him, just because with good positioning and timing, Templar Assassin, of course, can dish out a lot of pain with the Psyblade spell. Very annoying stuff. But Tiny, it's going to be a Tiny to go with the Wisp then. And this, of course, Tiny farms at a ferocious rate, and you throw in a Wisp to allow him just to sit down and farm some more. It can get very scary very quickly. Tidehunter, though, the next ban here by Pulse. They will knock that off the board. And now it's Dignitas' turn to take off some heroes. Now I think we're probably going to see a few AoE heroes removed here, just because it's a dark, so I wouldn't be surprised if Enigma gets knocked out. Now Dignitas do have the second pick here, so they don't have the option of leaving Enigma on and they're hoping to pick him up. Pulse could well go for that Enigma, of course with the Darkseer there, it is a big threat. Now that said though, I'm just wondering if Pulse might go for a bit of late game here. Of course, Darkseid, we're seeing exactly how great he can be when combined with the Void. In fact, of course, Void can throw down that Chronosphere, and then of course Darkseid can vacuum people and very annoying stuff. But now the fourth ban here from Pulse, and looking at Dignitas lineup, they could do with another soft support, and probably some kind of offlaner. Unless they're planning, I mean, they could be going for an aggressive trialing with a Tiny, but in all honesty, it's not as common as it used to be, and I think Wisp Tiny will probably take a safe lane. They could throw on a jungler if they wanted to. That said, we don't have a super aggressive trialing here from Pulse at the moment, so it's definitely a possibility they wanted to go for a dual lane plus a defensive dual lane plus a jungler. Of course, if you do try and do the jungler and a defensive dual lane against an offensive trial, it is fairly hard to pull that off effectively, and often you'll see the early firepower of 3 heroes versus 2 used to great effect to force the other 2 heroes to back off and not get any experience or farm. But Void being banned out there, yes, Dignitas very aware that it might be a bit of an issue there, and we also have Pulse banning out Chen as well as Keeper of Light, so they're trying to cover both their bases here. They're okay. They might pick Keeper of Light for an offensive trial to go with the Wisp and the Tiny, but at the same time they might pick Chen to stick in the jungle and go for a defensive dual lane plus that Chen there. So I think this means Pulse is unlikely to be running that aggressive try. We'll see what they've got in mind. And Enigma will be the final ban for Dignitas. Again, very wary of that black hole with the potential vacuum to set it up. Or even just follow up. Of course, you can blink in there, set the black hole, and then immediately just have Darkseid throw down that vacuum and suck everybody in. However, the fourth pick here for Pulse, they're probably looking for another soft support. They could go for a jungler if they wanted to. But I get the feeling they're going to go for something fairly safe here. There we go, another support being picked up. So Rubik and Shakira are going to be doing the majority of the supporting. The question is whether or not Pulse will go for some kind of hard carry here. Or they might just go... They could try and play this offensive. I mean, if they wanted to get cute, they could try and do a dual lane mid. I mean, it's entirely possible. We might see something like a Jakiro Chaos Knight mid. Of course, it's something Pulse has done quite frequently in the past. Having Jakiro as Rishon as well as Fishbone take the mid there. But the question is, where is Pinoy going to go? We'll see.
5 seconds remaining.
Dignitas now, it is their fourth pick. They're probably looking for some extra support here, or a possible jungler. If they wanted to, Enchantress is still available, though I have not seen a lot of her lately at all. In fact, the last time I saw Enchantress was a machine gun build. She's been fairly unpopular as of late. Dignitas is going to take their time. They do have plenty of time to burn here, a full minute left in reserve, but I'm thinking they're possibly looking for a jungler. That or some support. They might even just pick up another support who might just jungle and pull for them, of course. Wisp sitting... Well, that said, we might even see another hard support picked up, so Wisp can do that. Of course, Wisp does do fair better with items, so he doesn't get burst down, which is definitely a possibility. We're up against Queen of Pain, Jakiro, Rubik. There is a lot of magical damage there, and they will want a pipe when they can find it. But they're also looking for some kind of off lane. Chances are they could even pick up something like a Windrunner. She is available. They want to pick up something to sit in that suicide lane. Of course, Bounty Hunter is probably the most popular offlaner at the moment, and he has been banned out very early on in this game. But Dignitas really taking their time with this one. In fact, going to chew up most of the time. I think they're really just trying to decide whether they want that offlane now. They want that jungler / hard support, or soft support rather. And it will be a Bane. Okay, so we might see Bane sit in the lane while Wisp does the pulling. Of course, Wisp can actually stack and actually use those pulls quite effectively once he gets the orbs leveled up and help farm them. But we'll see what he's got in mind. So now they're looking for some kind of offlane here, unless they're trying something crazy like a offensive trial with a Bane. I really doubt it though. In all honesty, I do prefer... Bane is very level hungry, but we'll see what they've got in mind. I think it's one of them is definitely going to spend a lot of time in that jungle just pulling and not really focusing on the lane too much.
5 seconds remaining.
But now Pulse are going to go to overtime once again here, and they're looking... I get the feeling they're looking for some kind of hard carry here. That is my gut feeling here, that they're looking for some kind of hard carry, and it will be a life stealer. Now, this is definitely helpful, because of course you can use that against Tiny. On the other hand, it can help cut through Tiny's health pool with that. On the other hand, though, he also has plenty of magic immunity. However, there is the superior magic disable in the form of Bane, who can just Fiend's Grip him. And it looks at Pulse. I mean, they're kind of shy. Well, no, that's it. No, they've got three things that can knock him out of it. So we'll see whether or not that works. That said, though, we'll see. And I've got to say, lifesteal, I don't mind it too much. And mostly the biggest issue I have with Lifesteal is mobility in a
5
fight, because of
seconds
course his
remaining.
melee hero doesn't have any decent inbuilt speed buffs, but that said, he can infest Queen of Pain and just hitch a ride, and then pop out in a great big spray of blood and just go to town on somebody and try and chew them up. And Beastmaster will be the final pick here. That will be their suicide lane there, so he'll probably spend most of his time stacking because he won't want to get caught out. Against Akira, Rubik and Lifesteal, he will not want to get caught out. The question is how aggressive they go. Of course, I've seen some crazy builds here from Akira where they just go straight that liquid fire, as opposed to picking up extra levels in Ice Path, which is normal. They get the extra levels in Ice Path just to get the extra stun time on it. On the other hand, Dual Breath is sometimes leveled up just for the offensive nuke power. But let's call out the players here. So playing for Pulse right now, we have Fishbone and Jakiro. We have the stand-in Jude and one playing Lifestealer. Pinoy playing the Darks. Okay. A bit of a switcheroo, of course. They do have a couple of stand-ins. So there we go. Pinoy will be playing the Darks. So that might be the suicide lane. We'll see. Rishin going to be playing the Queen of Pain, and Bonzage, the manager, playing the Rubik. Now on the dire side though, for Dignitas, we do have Fog playing Beastmaster. We go, he's cutting down these trees. She gets a lot of them in one go there, of course, just to give himself vision. He'll go back and just mount her up. Now, we have Fog on the Beastmaster, Tides of Time playing the Wisp, IA2000 playing the Tiny there, Way Too Sexy playing Bane, and Snaking playing Templar Assassin. Now, now we've seen Beastmaster chop down those trees, so chances are they are going to send Tiny up to the top lane, or are they? Hang on a minute. What is going on here? Just the golden Roshan there. What is going on here? Are we up to some shenanigans? We'll see in a moment. No, I think this guy's just chilling here, possibly for the run, and they'll head top. Or not. In fact, they are going to go with an offensive tri-lane here. And it looks like, oh, okay, they were smart. They figured out the fact that they were going to take an offensive lane up to the top lane there with the Lifestealer. This is definitely a great read here from Dignitas. In fact, they're going to send their tri-lane down to the bottom lane. This is going to be up against the Solar Queen of Pain, so we might see a bit of musical lanes here for a bit. You see Bonjard's there, find himself a haste rune. But Beastmaster will head up there. I find this kind of interesting. Normally this is something done as defensive measure. When you take an offensive tri-lane, you try and keep these trees up, because obviously you could use this to get in behind people and gank them. In this case, it looks like they're more worried about getting ganked instead, so never mind. Or it might have been a last minute change, who knows. There you go, Queen of Pain is going to be doing a little bit of harassing here, but on the downside, of course, this is going to leave their supports fairly underleveled. We won't see any of that mini style Wisp who farms a lot, does a lot of pulling, and focuses mostly on getting his last hits in, so he can get those items up, so he's not as squishy in that mid to late game. And we'll Darks here in the mid though, against Snaking. This is going to be fairly annoying for Snaking, of course. It looks like a bit of pinging there. What's going on? Fishbone, what is he up to? Okay, he's just trying to stack here. I think he's going to get Darkseid to come over there. Once he gets a level in vacuum, we go and chop down those trees. Now, Darkseid has picked up his bottle here. Now, Snaking, of course, this is an annoying matchup just because Iron Shell, because it does ticks of damage in such small numbers and so frequently, gets rid of refraction charges almost instantaneously. So she doesn't have that defensive mind game ability. Loses those damage blocks so quickly. That said, of course, she can harass back once she gets a couple levels. Of course, those side blades incredibly painful still for Pinoy. What's Fishbone up to? Okay, no, he didn't stack those. I'm not sure what Fishbone is up to. Regardless, so it looks like 8 and 3 there for Tony. 8 and 3 for Templar Assassin as well. Nakes, though, are doing fine, 7 and 0. In fact, they are going to drag this as much as possible. In fact, a lot of pulling happening here. Bit of a stack first, though, from Beastmaster before he goes for it. There we go again. That harassment being done in by the Darks here. Looks like he's going to head top. Finds himself a regeneration room. Bane heads towards mid, but can't set anything up here. Still in level 1, and in fact, hasn't actually leveled anything yet. Now, actually bottling that regeneration room. It looks like they're just going to switch this up into a dual lane. And yeah, it looks like Bane might actually go and just help pull and jungle up on the top lane there. Might not worry too much about coming down here. Now, of course, Tiny and Wisp have a bit of a synergy here. Of course, Tiny can actually throw Wisp when tethered up. Throws him into the target, and then, of course, they do... Oh, okay, he was possibly trying to stack that there for Darkseid to get some levels with Iron Shell, but I guess messed it up. Didn't get the stack off there. You see Bane headed top just to help out. But yes, of course, you can throw that Wisp in, and he throws him in with the tether up and gets to stun him very easily, and then can land the Avalanche fairly easily afterwards. That said, it has rotated, it has changed to dual lane versus dual lane. Here's a Queen of Pain actually gets out, gets some last hits in. Ice Path goes out, doesn't find a target though. Now, Fishbone has gone for 1 level in Dual Breath, 1 level in Ice Path. We'll see whether or not he goes for the Liquid Fire build as well. Beastmaster's doing a little bit of scanning, just trying to make sure nobody's skulking about in there. Trying to gank him. See, Tiny has picked the hatchet boots. So it looks like Bane is getting ready to stack and pull here, but he might get ambushed. I think these guys are sort of clued in that something's up, and of course, Naix can, of course, just go in there and jungle in his downtime, making sure he's making good use of his time. Of course, he's not doing much here. Creep will be under the tower, might get a little bit of experience, but of course can't get that goal. Now, 2000 actually copying a bit of harassment here. Queen of Pain starting to get annoying. There's the Ice Path. I don't think they want to get too aggressive, though, unless Queen of Pain might actually gun for it. She's got 2 levels in Scream. Could actually have tried, but it would have been very dangerous. Of course, she blinked into a stun. Could have been devastating there. Now, Bane getting some levels there off the pull. Has gone for 1 level in Nightmare, 1 level in Brain Sap as well. No snaking, of course, going to try and beat his opponent here to the rune. However, here we go. Jakiro finds the Ice Path going to come up here. Haste Rune going to go in there as level 2 Ice Path lands it there, although the first blood is going to go to the top lane there as they picked up Fog. Beastmaster gets picked up. That's it, a meld hit there from Templar Assassin. Does do a lot of damage. In fact, Jakiro may have overstayed his welcome, and he does get brought down by the tower. So in the end there, Dignitas giving away a first blood, but they do lose. They do manage to pick up a kill there in return. That said, though, Templar Assassin not getting experience gain. And it looks like Dark is going to be the first level 6, but of course not as crippling in this case, because he doesn't have that huge level 6 boost. Whereas, of course, you get something like obviously a solo mid Rubik or Queen of Pain. Once they hit level 6, and of course their effectiveness just skyrockets. Okay, Darkseer, though, is still likely to farm for a while. I think this is something that they will have to watch out for. Darkseer is farming fairly well, and Dignitas will have to watch out for this because, of course, he can become quite a threat if he gets farmed towards that mid-game. Yeah, we've even seen those fast Scepter rushes on Darkseer, which, of course, do a serious amount of damage. When you've got stuff like a Super Farm Tiny, a Super Farm Templar Assassin, their images can pretty much shred you in a matter of seconds once he gets that Argonym's up. You see a blocking ward thrown down there. So Tiny and West, they're thinking about possibly trying to set up a kill, though. It doesn't look like anything's going to come from this. And Tiny has gone for Treads first, just decides to harass Rishon a bit there. Does have a health potion and will most likely pop that in a moment, preventing himself from being wombo combo. Now Nate's being harassed there by Bane. Of course, the Enfeeble making life annoying. See, Lifestealer, oh dear, has gone for a very fast Midas. That is going to definitely be a threat. We see the slow getting thrown down there. Second slow ready. We've got Vacuum coming up for 5 seconds. He decides not to go for it, as a creep are still chasing him with the Iron Shell, taking a lot of damage. Templar Assassin, though, decides to pick up Phase Boots first, and Darkseer going to surge his way to the bottom lane. We'll find a regeneration rune. Templar Assassin decides not to give chase. Just going to sit here and farm. Of course, decided she couldn't outrun the surge. And Tiny being harassed again.
Thought you had that, didn't you?
Queen of Pain, though. No? Oh, never mind. I thought that was the bottle. I thought that was the bottle call. It was, in fact, the last hit call there from Queen of Pain. She has also picked up her own power trades. Both farming quite well. They're Tiny 28 and 8, 22 and 8 there for Queen of Pain. A little bit behind, but not too bad. They should be okay. Both lanes have been, for both heroes there, both lanes have been somewhat dangerous. We're just going to get rid of that line of sight and also pick up that CS with a Fade Bolt. Now we see Wisp and Tiny abandoning their bottom lane. Looks like they might rotate and actually send them up here. And we do have level 6 here for Fog. In fact, they could try and... In fact, they are going to try and set something up. He shares over a Clarity there to try and make sure Beastmaster has both spells up. He has gone for 3 levels in Pets, 2 levels in Axes, and of course 1 level in Raw. And it looks like they're going to find Bonsage here. Bonsage, though, go! Never mind. No, he's going to go for Naix here. He's going to throw out the Chain Stun there. We've got the Tether Stun coming up in a second. They will manage to bring down Naix. Naix gets picked off fairly easily. The Chain Stuns and nukes far too much for him. Meanwhile, Bonsage is forced to be able to... He couldn't do anything except walk away there and avoid getting double killed.
You never.
Let's bring up the gold chart here. It's just slightly over the radius. See a vacuum there on Snaking. Snaking being torn back into that Iron Shell. As you can see, is doing a devastating amount of damage there, even for a few seconds. Contact is, of course, like herpes. It burns. It burns. Narration. What is he doing here? Looks like he's saving up a bit of cash here. We'll see where he goes with that. Has got 700 at the bank. Of course, has several bills. And they go for the vacuum there. That actually could have been a kill there on Templar Assassin had they vacuumed it into that iron shell.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We're now just getting some consumables. Bane is in fact being given more farm here as their haste rune gets picked up by Templar Assassin. This time she manages to beat him to the rune. Also going to break the XP chart. Also favouring the Radiant side as well. Just been utilising those pulls a little bit better. And of course, some of the deniement there on the top lane has been somewhat annoying. They actually pick up, oh, big dive there. In fact, Beastmaster getting picked up. Queen of Pain jumping on him there. Of course, Lifestealer giving chase.
Agony.
Didn't use that Infesto, so it's charged in there. Beastmaster getting a little too cocky and getting a little bit too close.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What have we got here? They've got, Roshan has got a few standard items there just being sent out towards mid in a second. Looks like they're trying to set something up in the top lane, possibly. Rubik pinging it. We see a bit of harassment being done there by the Darkseers. A teleport coming in though from Beastmaster. We do have Rubik still in position, although the Wartox chucks a ward down, and he will see the threat and back off. Meanwhile on top lane though, how is Tiny farming? Tiny currently sitting on 36 and 12, and he is starting to fall behind the Lifestealer. Of course, Lifestealer does have that Midas as well. Lifestealer's going to have a crazy amount of gold fairly soon. 380 GPM at the moment is starting to get out of control. They take some early towers, and we'll Queen of Bait coming top now. Has picked up a Null Talisman, just a cheap item there to give her a quick health boost and mana boost there. It's just all round nice stats early on.
Tower is under attack.
Templar Assassin going to deal some damage. We go the raw down on Pinoy. Pinoy now access as well. They're going to change their mind though and back off. No refraction for 10 seconds. A haste rune ready to go though. And Templar Assassin will be safe there. As the counter-attack came in fairly swiftly there from the Radiant team, forcing them to back off. It's actually been, considering we have two standards for Pulse, this has been more even than I would have liked in terms for Dignitas, especially since they are up against Nakes, who is going to get fairly farmed. That said, they do have Fiend's Grip up their sleeve though. They wouldn't to worry about, but as we're going to see Rubik toss him up to the high ground. They're trying to escape. Snaky now a little bit stuck, going to teleport to the bottom tower to cut him off. Nakes also coming to help out here. Wild Axis, it looks like they'll pick off the Rubik. One hit there from Templar Assassin, but Fog losing health rapidly. Another slow being tossed in there if he can get it down now. Going to go for the counter attack here. Nakes now out of spells. Refraction eating up those last hits there, and he will pick him off with a meld hit. I think he was looking for. He was looking for that infest. Unfortunately, couldn't find it there. We see Rubik's stolen Cool Ball there, unable to slow down Templar Assassin enough. But that is definitely a kill that the Dire team need. They really do need to keep this Nakes under control. He's going to become quite a pest in that mid to late game. Of course, he's going to hit very hard, and we've seen other teams like No Titan, even when they're falling behind, when they get a Nakes with an early Midas, hide him somewhere in the jungle and just let him farm for a good 20 minutes straight. Suddenly he becomes a huge issue to deal with in that late game. See Queen of Pain now possibly being set up here. Is they going to get Tiny in? I don't know. Okay, there we go. I was going to say Fiend's Grip. I don't know about Tiny doing that there, as he will pick up the last hit. I thought he was going to tether to Bane to set up a quick stun, but he decided to go for the Fiend's Grip instead, which works out at the end. Nice little setup there.
Top tower is under attack.
Now Nakes, obviously building his armlet there, we'll be picking that up fairly soon. Of course, armlet a fairly inexpensive item compared to a lot of others, but gives great bang for buck on heroes like the Lifestealer.
Denied.
Those strength semi-carries or carries. I love that armlet. Now A2000, top lane though, I hear Port's coming up, looks like a bit of a counter-attack here. They're looking for a gank on A2000, but Tides is here. They blink in, they could well walk into a tether stun if they're unlucky, although Rishon actually is going to cop a bit of damage here for the creep. Fortunately, a little bit squishy. In fact, it's so squishy that Wisp is getting very bold there. I'm still at those. Still, look, it's 430 gold per minute. This is definitely worrisome. Very, very worrisome for Dignitas at the moment. Now I see a potential clash here. Darkseid, no, Invis going to scout things out here. Although actually it looks like Risha not going to wait. Drops most spells on Pinoy. Pinoy though charging over the tether will get picked up. Couple of auto attacks now. They're thinking about Tiny. They also managed to steal. What is that? He's picked up the toss there. Can throw in. It throws in a creep. There's the ice path as well. Telekinesis. They set up a nice easy kill, but the counter-attacks coming. In fact, they're still porting in. We've got Templar Assassin coming. There's the Raw. Down on Fishbone. Wild Axis as well. Here he comes. Meld hit there. Going to disintegrate the Jakiro. Beastmaster though falling as well. Slow down. Risha decides to give chase. Risha, though, 2 seconds from Blink. A Quill Ball going to slow him down as well. Risha now going to have to blink over the trees there, trying to escape. Templar Assassin does not have her own blink. And Risha should be able to escape. Another slow throw. Oh no, 5 seconds left. Oh no, 1 second on the blink there. Can we get a last hit in 1 hit? 11 health. Wisp, though, but put in an auto attack. She tries to blink. But unfortunately, just as she was blinking out, the orbs come into play and clean him up. In fact, his Wisp going to take Bane home with it. No, snaps the tether as we see Tiny, though, going to give chase there. Nate's now raging up, going to try and teleport out here. And another hit there from Templar Assassin. A meld strike there will finish him off.
Find your grave.
As Tiny actually been teleported out of the fray there by Wisp. Golden Roshan, and they're going to bring him a point booster as well. He's snaking though. 2.1k, 2.2k in the bank. In fact, if he wants his Blink Dagger, it's probably good. In fact, he's probably going to pick it up. No, he's not. Alright then. Never mind. Shut up, Trump. You're an idiot. Fiend's Grip now on Bonsage. Bonsage, though, easy food here. And we're going to see the... Oh no! Stops it before the orbs come into contact. There we go. Now he opens them up. That's slow there. Keeping Rubik pinned down long enough to finish him off. So we've got a couple of quick kills here for Dignitas. They are up to 8 and 10. They're 10 in their favour. That said, though, Nake's still farming well, working towards that armlet. I'm definitely quite worried. Tiny, though, of course, farms at a ferocious rate in that mid-game. Got to be careful about giving him too much farm. Once he gets that Argonist finish, it's kind of like, and you give him Wisp, and then once he gets Argonist, it's very much like watching an anti-mage charge around the map, just Battle Fury, just cleave everything into oblivion. Stacked neutrals, stacked ancients, doesn't care, he just eats them. And of course, he can burst down waves as well if he wants to with a toss and stun. So he can farm under pressure, like in dangerous lanes, just get out quickly, nuke down a wave. And then, of course, with Wisp, can cause all controllers. See there, the vacuum being used to pick off Beastmaster's bird, just getting rid of that scouting intel. Snaking looking fairly good for 14.5 minutes in. As we see the slow, though, the blink away there. Darkseer, though, doesn't care. Gonna surge the Nakes in. Nakes now looking for... No, okay, Nakes changes his mind, decides to stand around for a moment, then walks back. Beastmaster picking up some power treads there, most likely. Although that could actually be the beginnings of a Necronomicon. That's also possible. Mid-tower now, lucky to 4 hit. The slow gets tossed in. Templar Assassin blinks in. Melt hit, almost 1 hits Rubik. Rubik in so much trouble. Needs another hit there. We'll bring him down. Dual breath in now. Nake's now going to town there on Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin, no. Refraction in a couple of seconds. Melds, as it looks like Infest is going to carry him to safety. And there we go. Decides to jump out now, as it looks like they are going to back off here. Risha, though, thinking of giving chase. See, the Darkseer with an early Vanguard is definitely a little bit different, not a common build him anymore. So we see Darkseer, though, going to get attacked there by Tiny. That said, normally we see a pipe, an early pipe. In this lineup, I guess we're not going to see it just because, basically, there's not a lot of burst magic. Like, you got Tiny's combo, and most other people deal mixed damage in the form of wild axes. Of course, Bane doesn't give a damn about magic immunity or magical damage blocks, because of course he just goes right through it. And then of course you've got Templar Assassin, all physical. Wisp has a little bit, but not that much. And of course you've probably got somebody else going to build the mech here. In fact, it's going to be most likely Jakiro, I think. It's going to be Jakiro or Rubik likely pick up that mech. I think Jakiro, Rubik will probably just go for his 4 stuff.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See, Beastmaster pick up a kill in the bottom lane. Of course, Templar Assassin, brutal stuff. Once you get that lockdown happening, it looks like Judah is going to back off there. Has finished up his armlet. And of course, 448 gold per minute. That's the Templar Assassin catching up. Tiny also starting to get his own there. You got his own farm, 340 gold per minute as well. See, the Argument Step is almost done. It will start to accelerate quickly once he gets his own steroid farm item done, which of course is his Argument Step. But only 500 gold away from that. And once he gets it, he's going to start farming incredibly quickly. Stacked Ancients, in fact, being prepped for him right now. Beastmaster getting ready. Or, in fact, he could actually be getting... Oh, in fact, never mind. Beastmaster getting greedy as we see another kill at Rubik. Getting caught out in the mid lane there as it looks like they are going to pick up another kill. It vacuums him into the wall. It gets a lot of illusions off. Can we see a kill set up here as we get the stun off, though, from Wisp on the Rubik, on the Nake. So they're going to try and give chase to Bane. Bane gets hit there by Queen of Pain's ult. Pops a Ghost Scepter just before a critical failure there as he will get picked off by a Scream. I mean, it was a nice choice to try and stop Lifestealer from tearing him up. The Queen of Pain threw in her ultimate, the Sonic Wave, and it just happened to be bad timing there on his part. I mean, in this case, the Ghost Scepter is going to be one of those items. It's going to be good, or it's going to be bad, depending on that timing. And unfortunately, in that case, just unfortunate timing now. Tiny about to get picked off here. Lifestealer charging after him. There we go. Open wounds. His Lifestealer now going to try and tear him apart. Gets tossed away, though, towards Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, though, trying to stay away. The vacuums him back there. She might, nope, blinks away and it will disjoint. Losing health rapidly to that tower. Is picking up a Black King bar, I would suspect, with the early Ogre Club. We do see the courier now in some trouble, in fact, being run down by a Quillbore of all things. One more hit, Darksteel will manage to save it. Just barely. Queen of Pain, they're going to activate her bottle. They're just going to charge up. Needs to be careful, though. Of course, Wisp and Tiny can come out of nowhere and just attack her. Meanwhile, though, on the bottom lane, Shakira now being threatened by Templar Assassin. I think he's got to be very cautious here. Does not want to get caught out at all. Templar Assassin likely to be picking up a BKB next to help deal with the Macropires and stuff like that. There, just going to be farming the ancient, the neutral camp there. That's Zinking, going to try and sneak in a tower there. The Glyph gets popped on, the counter attack comes in there from Darkseid, backs off, obviously, does not want to get caught near that Iron Shell. Fogged, what is he building? Okay, it looks like it is actually going to be the start. Well, it is actually going to be the start of Necronomicon. Again, stacking that camp there. Tiny should have that Argonauts Scepter done shortly, of course, was picked off. But in a moment, the question is whether or not Beastmaster. In fact, going to feed it Templar Assassin. Never mind, not going to give it to Tiny. Templar Assassin just going to use those. So, no, change her mind. Goes back to the tower. Just going to make sure she picks up this farm. Get a gun for Templar Assassin here. Vacuums him back. Ice Path of Iron Shell going to town. Templar Assassin now. Wall also being tossed down there by Darks here. Raw as well as Fiend's Grip being stacked. Not a good use of disables there. Pinoy, though, still likely to take down. Pops some mech there. Will get cleaned up, though. Mel will finish him. As we see an Ice Path. That is a great Ice Path. A terrible Macropire, though. Oh my god, Chikura, had he landed that, that would have been crippling. That's a Queen of Pain, though, trying to make up for it. Will go down. Does manage to pick off Rexstar, but not a good trade there, I feel. Unfortunately, Fishbone making a huge error there. Unfortunately, he opened up with it. This is something opening with a Macropire should not be done. Should open with the toss. Nicely done. Does, of course, go through Magic Immunity. Will try and pick up Nate's. Nate's, though, getting clubbed to the ground there by Tiny, his baseball bat. Now, I've got to say, though, this is something I do when I play Shigero. It's a massive... It's just... You try and lead with Macropire. You really should set up with Ice Path. Set up the Ice Path and follow with the Macropire. You do lose a little bit of time for it, but getting the better Ice Path is much, much more... It's just a lot better to get that critical Ice Path off instead. And in that case, had he landed that Ice Path and then the Macropire after, that probably would have been GG there. That was a hell of a nuke, which is followed up with Queen of Pain there. So it looks like they're going to pick off Bonsage, though. Actually, no. It's going to be... No, it doesn't quite manage to pick off Bonsage. It's made a good run at it, though. It did a lot of damage there. Bonsage, of course, being quite squishy. But he did, of course, pop the Magic Wand and gave him a lot of health back there. And they will pick off Bane. No trade for him there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under
Tower, though,
attack.
going to get picked off here by Pulse. So it looks like they are going to trade for their top tower, though. And Tiny going to tear these apart. And it looks like Dignitas are quite happy to trade here. They're going to trade 2 for 1. Not a bad result for them at all. There we go. They will pick that off there. No ports coming to defend. We've got the third tier 1 top and mid tower. We'll lose their tier 1 bottom, though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That said, though, they still are behind on towers. That said, now Tiny has got his Argonauts Scepter. He can tear down towers very quickly, and of course can come out of nowhere to push them, thanks to Wisp. We see Templar Assassin, though, building her BKB, I believe, has picked up a recipe. In fact, I think it's being shuttled out right now. There it is, being shuttled out. Bane, though, smoking up. Gonna go looking for a gank here. Wisp kind of low on mana there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Beastmaster trying to push the bottom lane here. He's going to get harassed there by Darkseid, forced to get back. Now he's going to scout out. There we go, just making sure he's not being ganked from the side there. Meanwhile, though, of course, Nate's farming away. Has gone for a Desolator as well. Does need the next Mithril Hammer. She is a fair way off. You see that Tiny, as soon as he got that, look how much money, look how much his gold has gone up by. At the same time, I've also got to consider he did just get 2 towers out of that, but he did get ganked recently. The Argonauts Scepter, of course, a huge, huge buff for Tiny. It's pretty much, he's one of those heroes where it is really core. Darkseid did in fact pick up the mech. He just decided to go for the Vanguard first. A slow toss down there and buy. Templar Assassin doesn't buy anything though. Is that Brain Sap? It is Brain Sap. Rubik managing to find that. No, he's going to use the enemy jungle. Doesn't afraid of anything. There it looks like Bane though probably in a bit of trouble here. Pinoy decides to run him down with a bit of help. Could quite easily take him out. That's the Templar Assassin is on the way. No, it's going to be tables are going to get turned here. As Pinoy though, where is Pinoy gone to? There he is. Found Pinoy. Back up there. It looks like they're considering the enemy might be farming the Ancients as well as the rest of their jungle there. He's making motions about it. That said though, look at the bottom tower get clubbed down by Tiny fairly quickly. In fact, Tiny going for an early Daedalus here. Has picked up that Chrysalis for the big crits, big hits. See Templar Assassin though. Gonna go to the top there with Tiny. No, not gonna go to the top there. In fact, it's gonna be Wish showing up there. Meanwhile, Nakes decides to back off from that lane. Doesn't want to get caught out against that. The push on the tier 2 mid appears to be happening here though. So we see Queen of Pain getting close, finishing off a BKB, ports the bottom to defend. Not really necessary. Beastmaster's just farming the jungle, still working on his Necro book. In fact, Tiny has so much gold in the bank there. He almost has enough for his Daedalus there, has enough for that Demon's Edge. Rubik, what has picked up? 1k in the bank there, still kind of poor. The gold chart though has swung fairly effectively in favour of the Dire team. 2k, nearly 3k gold advantage. Experience wise 5k plus at the moment. That said though, the Radiant did have a decent start. It has tapered off a little bit now. The Dignitas has started to become more aggressive and setting up those ganks. Black Imbar is done there. Still carrying that smoke. See Fiend Script on the mid there. Looks like they're going to pick off Pinoy. Pinoy, a very easy kill. That's it though. 4v1s are usually pretty easy kills. He's getting caught out there. Probably slept and then Fiend Script. There we go. Yeah, Fiend Script. Always annoyed. Tiny now going to steal the enemy Ancient stack as well. There we go. Tiny being a jerk. Being a bit of a klepto there. Stealing what does not belong to him. For a bit of smoke out on the bottom. I'm not going to find anything though. Beastmaster is backed off, long gone. Going to go back and heal. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin being fairly bold here. Going to charge the enemy jungle. Just farm it there as Fishbone decides he's not going to fight that. That's it though. Blinked into the Nakes. Melzo to get away. Ice Path. BKB. Help is coming. And will they gun for this? I think they've decided to back up there. They realise there are only 2 and there's likely to be more. In fact, they can see more incoming here. This ward. The jungle spotting stuff up. Though, still farming. There we go. Daedalus has finished 1k in the bank as well. I see Nakes has finished his. He's finished his Stygian Desolator. That's it. Tiny is now ahead on farm. Nakes now getting behind, and this is definitely going to become problematic. We'll see what Tiny goes for next. Could even afford. I feel like he could even afford to try and pick up a BKB, so he doesn't have to worry about those stuns. But we'll see what he goes for. See Rubik picking up drums. Has got most of it, just missing the recipe now. Nakes obviously is going to farm away. Only 600 gold in the bank. Templar Assassin also picking up her own Daedalus. Queen of Pain though finds the double damage runes. It looks like this chase is on. The slowdown Rishon. Rishon though maxed out Blink. Will just hop away again. Templar Assassin can't really run the down. In fact, Rishon knows he's not going to chase after him. Doesn't even bother. Can see him there with the wards up. And Fishbone though on the other hand needs to be very careful. In fact, Templar Assassin might gun from there. Gets a melt hit down on Rishon. Rishon though melting under the pressure. Immediately gets the hell out of dodge as it looks like Tiny going to go toe-to-toe with Pinoy. Pinoy now not really winning that there as he will actually get critted down. A 900, nearly 1k crit. I don't think it was his speed. It was Pinoy there. Thinking he could play it cute. Thinking he could play it tight. And just sort of play it right to the wire to see a 1300 crit there on the creep. Unfortunately, Tiny landing that crit there, and Pinoy just really making an error there. As now the counter-attack there, Roshan though is picked off. Ice Path sent in there, it's not going to do anything. Queen of Pain now jumps in, the BKB to fall. Queen of Pain though getting hit by Mel. Queen of Pain go down to the crit there from Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin now backing up. Do we have Fiend's Grip? Yes, we do. A blink out there from Templar Assassin. Once again, dodging the Ice Path. A mass slow. A great stun there by 2000. A toss as well. Doing so much damage. Rubik down. There's the Fiend's Grip. They pick off the Nakes as well. And now it's just Fishbone. They're going to make it a wipe. Ice Path it again. Blinks over the top of it. And there we go, meld again, toss in, Fishbone, no escape, another crit in there from Templar Assassin, and that's all she wrote. That's a team wipe, and I've got to say, Dignitas, they look like they're in command of this game, without a doubt. 3.1k in the bank there for Tiny, a 7.5k gold lead at the moment, and experience-wise also 15,000 plus, and now they're going to take another mid-tower as well, the tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And there we go, easy tower down. Not much you can do about Tiny. Tiny just a total vandal with that bat, just takes it. It's like your ex-girlfriend when she takes a pickaxe or a baseball bat to your car. That's what he does to your towers with that bat. Just absolutely messes them up. Meanwhile, we've got Snaking working on the bottom tower as well. Of course, he can get a lot. There we go, pops a refraction, just wants the extra damage in. Rishin, though, goes into the deny, doesn't find it though. A split second too late. Crack off. Tiny, though, 4.3k in the bank as well. We'll see what he goes for next. They're probably going to ditch that Quelling Blade. Really doesn't need it anymore. He hits hard enough as it is. I get this feeling might even see something like an Assault. The extra armor is always going to be nice against Nakes. And on top of that, the attack speed as well. Also wonderful stuff. And Tiny kind of, as you can see, lacks in the armor department. This is something he benefits from to increase his survivability quite a bit. Now Bane has picked up a point boost there. There is some counter-attack being massed up on him. There we go, the open woods there from Nakes. Big surge to position, going to try to teleport out. Going to get cancelled though. Ice Path vacuum as well. An easy kill, not a problem.
More nightmares.
It's it though, buys back immediately. Also smokes up as well, just to get out of base quicker. Bane, kind of greedy there. And toss Wisp up, wow. Don't work harder, work smart as they say. Knocking down those trees there, decides to run around, just knocks the trees down just so he can get access to chill at those creeps, just farm them up quickly. Now Queen of Pain though, the BKB did not save her in that last fight. Those meld hits, like she's got this BKB and you just got these crits that come out, so much physical damage. Right now this is where you really want that positive armor on your team to help defend all these squishy intelligence heroes. Even Nakes wouldn't have that much here, and even Nakes doesn't have that much. They're motioning for a potential gank there. Snaking though, still farming the enemy jungle, does not really care. Gonna do what he pleases in there. More wards being thrown at the enemy jungle as well. In fact, I'm just waiting how long it is until Dignitas decide to get themselves a gem just for map control. They might just go for counter wards, we'll see. Now Wisp of course does have that mech done, of course really effective there with his tether. That heal, always wonderful stuff there for Tiny. So it looks like they are going to back off though. Pick off. Oh, and the bird gets picked off. At least they're trying to deny him some scan. That said, though, Templar Assassin just stealing everything there. As now she is going to get ganked here. Possible Ice Path. Good Ice Path there. Telekinesis is going to chain those stuns in. But that said, she will pop the BKB. Auto attack, so we'll finish her off. Although there now Tiny comes in. Aegis get popped there. The counter attack, though, it was bait in the end. Tiny taking names here. Going to bring down Rubik. It looks like he's going after Pinoy as well. Pinoy, no escape from him here. Does pop the Ghost Step to try and stop Tiny. The Nake's now coming. A toss in, though. Going to bring him down there. Another hit in there. As it looks like now goes the Nake's on top of that. A godlike streak there. And now Snaking still giving chase. That said, though, the illusion doing a ton of damage. Templar Assassin has finished her Daedalus. And again, just Templar Assassin. I don't think it was really intentional bait, just so happened that they tried to attack her there. And it wound up being a huge bait for them. They did only pick up the Aegis, of course. And now we're likely to lose a Rax here. There we go. GG go next. Pulse know that this one's over. So we're moving into game 2, guys. Of course, this was just game 1, a best of 3. So we'll be moving on. That's a ridiculous amount of damage coming out of that melt hit. The negative armor just shreds people. Anyway, guys, so thank you for watching. We'll be moving over to game number 2 after about a 5-minute break, and it's going to come in a Pulse. I mean, that said, they had a good early game. It's just, when it came to the late game, they just could not deal with this Tiny. And I've got to say, coordination-wise, Dignitas is definitely down pat a lot better. Of course, that said, Pulse do have 2 stand-in tonight, so take what you will from it. But anyway, we'll be back in about 5 minutes with the next game.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Secretly, I admired you.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
But Tiny didn't even bother to spend that cash. 7.3k in the bank. Here we go. Game number 2 on the way. Dear God, 7.35 gold per minute there.